एक एक तास गीत शूट केला तर ते किती वेळ झाला काय माहित नसेल तसं.
Hello friends. Earlier class this week, we did talk about the basic concept of wastewater treatment, how there are set of various unit operations and unit processes are combined in order to make a complete treatment scheme or treatment setup. From this lecture onwards, we will pick the specific units and have discussion onto that. And we are going to start with the very first unit which is used is screening. So screening is the first unit operation in a water treatment plant. We are saying it unit operation because it's a purely physical process. Okay. There is no chemical reaction or nothing is involved in this. Okay. So screen is typically a device with opening generally of the uniform size, which is used to retain the suspended and floating coarse materials. So like you can see this image over here, okay, there are lot of things are trapped here. What are trapped? There could be piece of cloth, there could be piece of boards, stems flowing in, then leaves, plastic, rags, papers. So all those things which is found in the influent wastewater. You have a look at any wastewater channel and you will see that many of these things comes along with the wastewater channel in the flow along with the wastewater. So these materials is easy to remove just by the filtration because they are of much larger size, but it is essential to remove them in the beginning itself, beginning of the treatment process itself. Otherwise, if we let them go and then when we start, let's say, pumping sewage or to a reactor or those kind of stuff, so they could damage the pumps, the other channels. So all the like process equipments actually could be damaged by these materials. Okay. So pump, walls, pipelines, impellers, all those things could be damaged, and in order to protect them, it is advisable to remove these materials at a very first stage itself, okay, so that these does not move ahead. Now, if you see the features of a screen, so the screen elements generally consist of either parallel bar or rods. It could be gratings, it could be wire mesh, it could be perforated plates. So those kind of things can be used for the screening purpose. It's just simple physical filtration. Okay. The openings of these screenings are usually rectangular or circular. However, technically it could be of any shape. It could be of hexagonal, pentagonal. So that way, like it could be of any shape. But for most cases, it is either kept circular or kept rectangular. And depending on the size of this opening, okay, what is the opening size here through which this material can pass through or can be retained through. So depending on the size of the opening, the screens can be said as coarse screen, medium screen or fine screen. Okay. So there are other classifications as well. So if you see the type of screen, the coarse screen, which are bar racks or bar screens, typically are of the order of 6 to 150 opening size. We have fine screens which are usually of less than 6 and micro screens which are less than 0.5 micrometer. Then there could be these particularly coarse screens could be hand cleaned or could be mechanically cleaned. Then mechanically cleaned, it could be chain driven, reciprocating. So there are variety of options. The fine screen could be of step type, drum type or static weight wire type. So there are variety of like combinations that can be there for these screens. Now if you see the coarse screen, which is the first one to be used, particularly in the sewage treatment plants, generally consists of bar screen or bar racks, and sometimes in conjunction with the comminuting devices as well. So they typically have a clear opening ranging from 6 to 150 which is 0.25 to 6 inches in the size. Okay. These are more as a protective devices, so it kind of used for protecting the rest of the plant operations. Okay. And these are specifically used to remove the racks and large objects. So because the opening size is 6 to 150 so depending on the size, it will remove only the particles which are larger than the opening size, and rest can actually sneak into. The bar screens are typically composed of vertical or inclined bars spaced at equal intervals with relatively large opening of approximately 25 mm. So that is the approximate size, but it could range from 15 mm to 40 mm. Okay. And it should be uniform across the channel through which the wastewater flows. So if wastewater is, let's say, flowing through this way or to that way, so it should basically intersect the path of the wastewater flow. That's what the objective of screening. So if we see the screening process, so let's say this is our approach channel. Okay, the water is flowing in like this, and then we have the different bar racks here kept at the stake. Okay, and then the flow is ensured that way. So since it is typically kept on incline, okay, and particularly the manually cleaned one, so if you see the front view, it will look like that. The wastewater is flowing like this, and if you see the top side, it will look something like that. Now, the cleaning process of screens are of like very essential because its efficiency will depend on the cleaning. Otherwise, if you do not clean and things get accumulated on the surface of the screens, it could get choked and it may actually prevent the flow itself. Okay. So bar screens are usually hand cleaned and sometimes provided with the mechanical devices for cleaning depending on the size of the plant. For small plants, hand cleanings are good, but for very large plants, many times the mechanical devices are preferred for cleaning purpose. So these cleaning devices are racks which periodically sweep the entire screen, removing the solids for further processing or disposal. So the entire screen will be taken out, okay, and it is cleaned, and then it is placed back. There are mechanical cleaners which utilize chains or cables to move the rack through these screen openings. Screens are uh, H by sin theta that way. So eventually, what you see here that your area required of the screen will increase. Yes. But again, the efficiency increases. Plus, it is difficult to take out the manual screen. It is far more easier to handle the inclined screen. So it increases the effective cleaning surfaces and it increases the effective operation as well. Mechanically cleaned screens are generally sort of kept almost vertically because they are anyway mechanically driven. We do not need to do hand operations much there. Such bar screens have opening 25% in access to the cross section. So if let's say your water is up to this, so we'll have a little higher cross sectional area. Okay, but still the area is usually half that required for the hand drag screens because they are placing it vertically and not giving too much of angle or inclination. Then we have medium screens. Medium bar screens have clear opening of around 12 mm. Okay, very less used though. These are typically 10 mm thick on the upstream side and tapered slightly towards the downstream side. These are mechanically racked units mostly and used before all pumps or treatment units so as to things can get protected and should not allow to pass in through. Okay. And then the fine screens, which are again mechanically cleaned devices because it is not possible to practically clean such devices manually depending on the size. They are typically less than 6 mm opening, but commonly available opening range is from 0.35 to 6 mm. Okay. So 35 micrometer to 6,000 micrometers are the actually range of the opening. The fine screens are generally used for pre-treatment of industrial waste to remove the materials which can form scum or foam. So those kind of things. In sewage, they are normally not used. Okay. They are not suitable for sewage because there is a huge clogging possibility. Sewage flows usually have a lot of such materials. So even if you want to use a fine screen, so we should actually first put a coarse screen, then we should put this device to like ensure a commutator kind of thing so that it shreds these waste and then we can let it pass through the fine screen. But normally these are not suitable and not needed. This could be drum or disc type, okay, depending on the placement and depending on the design. There are various screens which are not used as a pre-treatment, but the suspended solids are removed using micro screen from secondary effluent many times. So these are not in fact a scheme that we have been discussing so far as the first unit. They can be used at a later scale and they are not very popular due to several disadvantages, that improper removal of solid and inefficiency of holding solid fluctuations, because with lesser than 1 mld, 1 million liters per day. So these are the different type of screens, and then also screens are generally need certain hydraulic disturbances. So screens are provided to remove the material which would impede the flow of the treatment plant. Okay. So if you are in a flowing channel, if you are putting obstruction in the form of screen, it is obviously going to disturb the flow conditions. Okay. So if we keep on as the more and more blockage or more and more retention takes place on the screen surface, it becomes more and more difficult, or their like head loss will increase that way, and flow will be disturbed more. So continuous cleaning arrangement should means if we make a continuous cleaning arrangement, it can keep the interferences to the solid material at a minimum level. But aspect and grade of the influent conduct is steepened immediately proceeding to the screen. The velocity through the screen should be such that maximum amount of screenings or solid materials are retained without undue deposition. Okay. So that is one of the essential criteria. Generally, the our CPHU manual recommends velocities of 0.6 to 1.2 meter per second to the open area for the peak flow. This much should be there, and velocity should not be less than 0.3 meter per second to prevent the deposition of solids. If it is less than that, so then the solids may get deposited on the screen surface itself. Okay. So generally the velocity of 0.8 meter per second is considered appropriate for the considerable amount of storm water while preventing any grit decomposition at the bottom of the screen. So because that is also not recommended. Those things which can flow should actually flow through the screen. Straight channel, which is like if a screen is kept in a straight channel, so then a good velocity distribution is like ensured. If you are having a, let's say if you are having a channel like this, okay, and try to keep a screen here, so because of the flow disturbances here, there is too much of turbulence and the velocity distribution through across the screen is not good. It is better to have a like significant amount of straight channel before the screen so that velocity is nicely distributed in the channel. Okay. And this sort of maximize the effectiveness of the screen in terms of the retention. Now, when the flow goes through the screens, there will be head loss which will bound to happen. Okay. So this head loss depends on the quantity and nature of the screenings that are accumulated. The head loss can be calculated using this typical formula, okay, as per recommended by the CPHEO. So H, which is the head loss in the meters, is equal to 0.0729 v square minus small v square, where v is the velocity through the screen in meters per second and v is the before the screen in meter per second. So in the channel, what is the like velocity and what is the velocity through the screen? Okay. So the velocity here through the screen openings is v. Okay. So because we are trapping some part of area over here, and for a constant discharge Q, the area here is this, and the area whatever the screen or bar thickness and those kind of things are going to be. So the area for flow through the screens is going to get reduced, and we'll have velocity through the screens a little higher. So that is why V is little higher as opposed to V, and their differences multiplied by the differences of their squares multiplied by 0.0729 gives the head loss. The value of this head loss is usually 0.15 meter and should not exceed 0.3 meter for clogged hand screen. So that is the criteria. If it's exceeding that, we know that it's high time to clean the screens. There is another approach to determine the head loss through these bar screens. Okay, from this equation. So we have another equation over here. Here H is the head loss in the meter, beta is the shape factor of the screen. Okay, and the shape factor will depend on what kind of shape it is. So it's a sharp edge rectangular bar, the shape factor is 2.42. It's a rectangular bar with semicircle upstream, 1.8 for circular bar, 1.79 for rectangular bar with both upstream and downstream as semicircular is 1.67. So we take the beta value accordingly, and then W is the maximum width of the bar facing the flow in meters. B is the minimum clear spacing between the bars in the meters. So what is the minimum clear spacing? HV is the velocity head of the flow approaching rack in the meters, which is calculated as V square by 2G. Okay. And theta is the angle of inclination of the rack with the horizontal. So like if it is kept at 45, so theta becomes 45 degrees. So this is another approach for estimating head loss. About the disposal of the screenings. Okay. So whatever quantities which has been retained, now how much quantity will retain will depend on what type of screen as well as what type of sewer system and what are its characteristics. Okay. In municipal sewage we are supposed to have high amount of screening as opposed to the industrial sewage. The quantity of screenings removed by bar screens mostly ranges from 0.0035 to 0.0375 meter cube per 1000 meter cube of the wastewater treated. Okay. And we then approximate typical value of 0.015 meter cube per 1000 meter cube of the wastewater. So that's the typical value. The screening is usually disposed of along with the municipal solid waste on sanitary landfill. There are other alternate options also, so we can board this back to the wastewater. Say we can channelize this back to the wastewater. So what if we are passing the screenings through grinders or disintegrator pumps, so it gets grinded, disintegrated, okay, and then we can channelize that back to the wastewater. The other options include incineration. So if we are particularly having, let's say, large size of treatment plant which is generating too much of these bulk solid screens, so it could be incinerated, although there are environmental effects of that process, so it's not recommended. For smaller treatment plants, many places it is buried at the plant site itself. Okay, so down in the ground in the plant site. Okay. But otherwise, because of the nature of this, it's typically the solid waste material which are coming in the water, so they can be trapped and put back for processing along with the municipal solid waste in the sanitary landfill or whatever is being done with the municipal solid waste. So that way we can sort of handle the screenings which has been coming from. So we conclude this discussion on screening, and in next class we will talk about the grit removal and equalization systems, followed by the sedimentation in the later classes. Thank you.